Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my house, my home. I'm going to make, oh, here comes Boris. I'm going to make some comfrey balm. I've made some before and I just wanted to check it out to see how it worked and everything. And it's absolutely amazing. Now, what I did is I collected some, well, I'll show you the jar. It's a bit dirty at the minute, but this is the jar. What I did is I filled that with comfrey leaves and then filled it with olive oil. And I used this, which people don't say to use that. They just say that you should either chop it up into smaller pieces and just leave it for a week, or you can excuse me, or you can like cook it on a very, very, very low heat. So what I've done is when I put the oil in there and the comfrey leaves, I actually used this to chop it all down, and then I've left it for a week. After doing that, I sieved it with a normal, the normal mesh. I can't show it to you now because I've got it in my dishwasher. But this is what I've got. Now, I don't know if you can see, but right at the bottom there is tiny bits. It's not filtered properly. So there is some tiny little bits in the bottom there, but that's okay. It's more concentrated, I think, than the normal stuff that other people have done. This is just the way I do it. This is the ingredients that I'm going to use. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use beeswax. I might not have enough there. Hang on. So I've got some more beeswax there that I can use. This is the kind of sieve. I didn't actually use this one, but this is the kind of sieve because I wanted the smaller pieces to go through into the jug to make it more concentrated. So I've got my bowl here, which I've put on the top of. It's a bit hot at the minute. You do not want to get this too hot. You need it so it's just warm enough to melt the beeswax and to warm this up, because it will burn if it's too hot. So it's just bubbling away now. I think you can see that. I have got it on a very low light, so I'm going to pop that over the top and I'm going to pour this in. You can see it's a nice brown colour. I'm going to mix it up just to make sure I get all of that concentrate from the bottom. Right, so I'm going to let that warm up a bit and I'll bring you back. Okay, that's warmed up. Now I'm going to add the beeswax. I don't know how much you add. I'll show you at the end when I think it's ready. It doesn't smell too good, so we have got some cinnamon apple fragrance oil, which I got off the internet. Right, I'm just going to mix that until it melts, and I'm going to chop some more of this beeswax because I really don't think that this is enough. I've turned the heat off altogether because of the water underneath is still warm. I've chopped some of my beeswax up. Like I said, I'm just guessing with this. It will, I'll show you at the end, like I said. You'll know when you've got enough in. Just let that melt. Right, there's still a few bits in there melting, and I think you might be able to see here, but there is little, it won't come out, but little bits of the comfrey. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Sort of there. If you look, there's little black dot things. Right, what I'm going to do is, with a little plastic spoon, I'm going to put a bit of that on there and put that in the freezer. Oh, put that in the freezer to cool down, and then I can check the consistency to see whether there is enough beeswax in there or not. So I'll pop this in the freezer and then I'll bring you back. Whilst that's in the freezer, I'm going to add some of this now. It's quite concentrated, but that stinks. It really stinks. So I'm going to add some of this to that. They say normally add about 20 drops, but I'm just going to go for it. Oh, that's better. You can smell it, you can dip your finger in it, and you want to smell it? Oh, smell that. Does that smell okay? Yeah, that's fine. Even by dipping my finger in like that, I could tell it's not enough beeswax. So I'm going to add some more. So that's that. That's a whole bar, plus that little bag thing that I had, plus that little bit that was in there. So let's get this melted down. I've taken the spoon out of the freezer because I need to try it again, because I've added some more of that. I've added a bit more of the sorry, I'm just popping the cooker back on just to warm the water up underneath. Yes, I added a bit more beeswax, and I added a bit more of the oil because it still smells. It stinks. It's horrible. Right, I've made 2 batches of this already, and I've given it away to friends to test. I suffer with a lot of aches and pains myself, and the first time I used it on my shoulder, and it worked almost instantly. That's for me. I'm not guaranteeing that it would work like that for you, but it worked for me almost instantly. A friend of mine, she's got arthritis. She used it and she said within 5 minutes it was working. She could walk again. It was on her ankle and she could walk again. Another friend suffers really badly with knee. If she goes for a bit of a walk, her knee really hurts and she has to sit down for a couple of hours. She'd been into town this particular day. I went round and gave her the cream. She put the cream on, sat down and had a cup of coffee. By the time she'd finished it, the pain had gone completely. Another lady tried it on her knee, didn't work. It didn't work at all. She didn't feel anything. Who else used it? There's quite a few people that have used it, and everybody except for that one lady said that it worked more or less instantly. Right, this is nearly melted now. I'm going to put a bit on this spoon again and put it in the freezer. Turn the cooker off. There it is. Just put that in the freezer and I'll bring you back. Right, I'm just going to get ready for putting it into its containers. These are the containers that I use. They're brand new. I've told people please don't give them back to me, because with this stuff you can't wash it out of containers properly, with it being the oil and the beeswax. So I'm going to get there, empty them out over there. You can see it's almost melted. It does take a long time because you must leave it on a very, very, very low heat. And to move it from there into them containers, I've just got a little bottle, cut it in half like that, and I just dip it in there and pour it into them. I have kept this with that little lid on, like that, in a plastic bag. So I could have used another one, but I didn't. I don't know why. But I would try and use new things because it is like a balm. So right, now I said about all the bits being at the bottom. When that has melted, which it's nearly melted, there's just that tiny little bit there left to go. Let's just check the one in the freezer. So that's the colour it's come out as. And if I rub my finger on there, you can see that it's just coming. You don't need a lot of it, but if I press down, you can see it comes out like that. I hope you can see that. Press down and it's kind of breaking up. I can't even think of a sort of cream that does that. But anyway, so for my shoulder, I would use about that much. It's really concentrated. So that's going to go back in there. Right, now that's all melted. There's just a tiny, tiny little drop there, look. I'm not going to stir it anymore because all the little green bits will go down to the bottom, so that when I start to scoop it out, I won't be getting the green bits from the bottom. You could, if you wanted, really can't think of the word. You could really strain it to get all them out, but that's left at the bottom doesn't get wasted. I use that with the bits in. I don't mind. So all we'll do now is get the carton, the container, get this little thing, fill it up to there, pop the lid on and put it in the fridge. So that's what's left. I've got 8 of them little small, I've got 8 of them. half filled up, so I shall be giving them away to the older folk. And that's what I've got left for myself. Hang on, I'll give you a close look. There we go. So you can see, like I said, in the bottom there, there's like that's the comfrey. If I do that, you can see it all up there. But I don't mind using that. I just think if anybody else is using it, they'd be like, "Eh, there's bits in it." So that, I don't know how much is going to be left, so I'm going to put that in a big pot. Oh, a tiny bit. But what I'm going to do anyway is, there's like bits that I can, there's bits on there which I will scrape out and put in my own pot. If you look there, there's some more there. So, and I will be able to scrape that out too. Look, you can see it wasn't that hot because it's set already. Right, now to tell you what you can use it on. Do not use it on broken skin, because our body heals from the inside out, and this heals from the outside in. Now, I did try it on myself, and I don't suggest anybody else try it. I'm just saying what I did. I put it on a cut that I had, and it healed more or less overnight. But the inside, oh hello Boris, the inside of my leg was still repairing, and I ended up with a blood blister because the skin had just grown over the top. So I don't recommend anybody even trying it. But it's good for stings and bites, bruises, any muscle aches and pains. A friend of mine, he actually gets sciatica. Yeah, and he put it on there, and within 10 minutes he said it had gone. Totally gone. So he's had an operation on his hand here as well, and you can see he's got, you know, bad stitch marks. I told him do not use it on there until that is fully healed. So he did, and he said, oh, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So there you go. That is my take on how I make comfrey balm. And look, I've just poured that in there, and it's almost set, look. So you can see how cold I had it, not too heated. Right, so thank you for watching. I hope this helps. Boris has now found a piece of card on the floor and he's ripping it to pieces. Yeah, I hope this helps. Give it a go. You're not losing much. But it really, 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 really does work. Alright, bye for now. Bye-bye.